I want to move on from this. I think we've got enough of that news conference. We were talking before the news conference, we were talking with Peter Kernan about President Trump's reversal on some key issues. For example, he doesn't like the strong dollar. He thinks the dollar's too strong. He's a low interest rate kind of guy. He might reappoint Janet Yellen to another term at the Federal Reserve. These are all reversals, but you don't think it's a whole big hill of beans?
No, I think the point particularly on Janet Yellen, this is a warning shot across her bow saying, I don't like a strong dollar. So you think about 4 or 5 interest rates over the next year or so, I'm not sure, sir, I'm in line with that. If you want to keep your job, just remember, I don't like a dollar that's too strong. I think it's also good news because I think it also says he doesn't like the border adjustment tax. As it relates to China, I think it's just he became acquainted with the facts. China has not been a currency manipulator. China is trying. They've spent more money than any country in the history of man trying to prop up their currency in the last year, over $1 trillion of their reserves. And by the way, April 7th, they sent a bunch of ships from North Korea back, loaded to the Plimsoll line with coal. So they are trying to sort of work with us to put pressure on North Korea. I think these two men did have some sort of basic agreement. They obviously have a lot of differences, but some basic agreement on things. And Trump is basically as well adjusting to the reality of sitting in the presidential seat.
Well said. That will be my point. Let's bring in Dan Henninger. That is my point, that President Trump, 85, 86 days into the presidency, has run slap into reality and must become more pragmatic and must retreat from some of the positions he had before. I think that leads to a certain degree of confusion. What say you?
Oh, I don't know. I think we're, as I wrote in the Journal today, I think we're just at the real beginning of the Trump presidency. That what we've had up to this point has been Donald Trump himself, a larger-than-life figure. And again, because of the media, we had the idea that it was Trump, that Trump owned the presidency the way he owns a tower on Fifth Avenue. It was just Donald Trump all the time. Donald Trump has discovered, as every president does, is that the institutions of this country, its politics, and the great world outside is larger than any president. Nobody owns the presidency. The presidency is held in trust for the American people. And now he is coming to grips with that reality, and I think beginning to conduct a much more serious presidency.
He's no longer ideological, almost at all. It was entirely pragmatic. He's doing what he can do. He's doing what might work, what he actually can get through. That's what he's trying to do.
Well, at that level, Stuart, I would say what the Freedom Caucus did to him on the health care bill put his entire presidency at risk. He really needs to score some victories now. That was a big setback. If they had passed that bill, I think he would have had much more momentum going forward to the tax bill and some of the other things he wants to do now. Because of them, he's got to really adjust. And it's an irony that the most right-wing members of the House have now turned Donald Trump into a complete non-ideological pragmatist.
I throw the blame on the Republican Party because it couldn't come together to pass even his first thing before Congress. That's who I blame. And you?
The Freedom Caucus.
Me too. Peter Kernan?
I think the Republican Party never misses an opportunity to miss an opportunity. They had a great chance. It's rare when you have the House, the Senate, the Congress, the Supreme Court, most of the governorships. If you can't get laws passed then, here's a quarter, call your parents. I have serious doubts about your political career. He is really forced into a corner by his own party.
What a tragedy. And look who joins us now. Newly elected Congressman Ron Estes, now the Republican candidate, oh, not the candidate, no, you won the election just the other night from Kansas.